Alright, so we're going to be playing Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. For anyone who doesn't know about it, Bloodstained was a Kickstarter game. But the Kickstarter was for Ritual of the Night. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which is basically Symphony of the Night. I'm not explaining it very well. Basically, this is a Castlevania spiritual successor. And as part of their stretch goals, they promised a mini game, which is this. And it came out first. And I've been playing it a lot, and it's really good. I have evidently been playing it quite a bit. Do I even don't need that one. I actually don't need any of them really, but I like hanging on to them until I run out of space. Now, I would actually like to go to the main menu. Just make sure all my options are in order. HD Rumble, yes. Button config. Yep, that's what I want it to be. Now, I was going to ask the chat what mode to go for the first run, but since no one's here yet, possibly never, I'm just going to go with... Fuck it, I'll just go with normal. I'll just do them in order. I am not touching veteran. Not a fucking chance. I might show it off a bit later, but that mode is not... can't handle it. There was once a man who had been given the moon's curse by demons, and skipping, that man was Zangetsu. Wrapped in crimson garb, with eyes like fire, he relentlessly pursued the demons who cursed him. As he journeyed from one pit of darkness to another, he would stop at nothing until he struck down every last demon in his path. One night, he sensed the looming presence of a great demon. He swore to eradicate all demons, no matter how much of a threat they posed. Bathed in moonlight, he cried out as he drew his sword, which consumed the darkness from within its wretched steel. On that night, either the demons or the moon itself would feel the wrath of his blade. No veteran. I will show off veteran later, after I complete this run, but veteran is fucked. Because of one small thing, and it's the knockback, and you will see what I mean. So I'm going with normal at first, which means I don't have any of this character's extra abilities. He's down to his bare basics. Right, he gets a bunch of extra moves if he does certain things during his main campaign. And in ultimate mode, you start off with all those moves by default, without having to do the thing. And I'm really feeling it, because normally I would be dashing right now. Fuck. So I'm fucking this up and wasting life. Hopefully there's some in that last candle. I say candle, they're actually lanterns, which is a small, subtle difference from Castlevania of like, no, they're not exactly the same. No, never. Nope. Also got to strike random walls now and again, and you might be wondering what's up with that. In Castlevania, for some reason, they hide stakes in the walls. No idea why. They just do. Also, unlike Castlevania, hearts don't restore your sub-weapons, they restore your life, which makes way more sense. But then again, what the fucking hearts do seems to change in every single Castlevania game, and I don't know if it ever gave you life. Probably did in at least one of them. Oh, there you go. They hit a heart in the wall. This is a very helpful skeleton. He's pointing you the correct way. As opposed to me going up there, which I can't because I can't fly. Yeah, so this is telling me that I need weapons. I can use weapons. Yeah, so that's okay, that's confusing. Look at that. I can restore my weapon points by finding magic potions. So why is it not just magic points? Especially since one of your characters just uses magic. So these things are tricky. When they're fully charged, which means they're shaking, they will shoot out fire if you're like horizontal to them. So standing too close will get you hit. But you can also draw out the attack and they're vulnerable for a few seconds afterwards. Unless you miss them. Hitting those is way easier when you get one of the upgrades for this character, because then he can then he does like a vertical slash forward rather than a horizontal one in the air, which has got a much better range. Fuck. No. I don't know why I bother crouching when I'm next to these things. It doesn't help you. The fire will knock over your head. So you see that ghost? That was the earliest instance where I realised veteran wasn't for me. Because the fucking ghost hit me and I got knocked back into that hole in the middle. I was having no trouble up until then. And then this little fucker hit me in the back from the air. So I've been picking up the potions even though I really don't need them because I've got maxed out weapon. Now, so weapons are important because effectively they're all your other abilities. They are a weapon because you can only carry one of them at a time, but each of them, because their effects are so different, they can get you through situations that none of your base abilities can. Like that with the golem, where I could just attack him safely because of the angle. And because of that, it's very important to know what sub-weapon you have. So for example, I just picked up the whip. And the whip is vertical. Yeah, it does. It looks great. Now I'm about to fight a boss. Now the sub-weapon I picked up is very important for that. In fact, the game very intelligently places sub-weapons that are useful for the upcoming areas and fights. So, you know, always keep an eye out on for those lanterns and pick the one that you think will help you the most. So in this case, it's a vertical attack, so it's good for hitting his head. And while he's doing that, he can't attack me at all. Oh. Dodge the fire. I wonder if I can get through this without taking any damage. I might be able to. I've fought him enough times at this point. So, 1, 2, 3. Probably got it in the fourth. Dead. Oh, not quite. There's always one little thing. When you defeat a boss, he tries to do a suicide attack against you. Now, that move looks scary as hell, but it's not. It's, despite its appearances, it actually cannot kill you. At least in all my tests, it can't. What it is that it will damage you, but no matter how much damage it does, no matter how much life you have, it will never actually deal a killing blow. It will just reduce your health down to 1 pip. And it's really just an intimidation thing, and I think it's mostly there just to annoy the people who try to get through these games without taking hits. Like the ones who want to do it perfectly, because the suicide attack, in most cases, that one is easy, but most of them are really hard to dodge. Now, it's worth noting, the character who I just got, Miriam, she is the main character of the new game, of Ritual of the Night. So that game's all going to be about her. So I was quite surprised when they announced this mini game of like, oh, you're not playing as her, you're playing as this new guy, Sangatsu, who's going to be a minor character in the bigger game, and she's just a playable character as a side character. And her involvement in the story of this game is actually quite minor. Whenever I reach a crossroads, I'll take the shortest path without fail. If I come to a fork in the path where I can't determine the shortcut, I'll follow the remains of fallen adventurers to lead me in the right direction. So yeah, literally follow the direction of the skeleton's finger. They will point you towards the correct path. Now, all the paths are correct. They all lead to the same destination, but some of them are easier than others. And more importantly, the ones the skeletons point to usually have extra materials, or they might even have a permanent upgrade to your health or your weapon stock. Now, Miriam's thing is that she has a much longer reach with her weapon, although it's not as fast. She can jump higher, and she can slide. So she can get around a lot better than this character. So I'm going to check what the sub-weapon is. Nope, don't want it. That is by far the most useless sub-weapon. It has its uses. The throwing the paper down on the ground to burn enemies. If it's against a stationary target, it can be quite useful to just throw that and then just forget about them. So in this case, I'm going to switch to Miriam, because she can jump higher and hit that. Yeah, and she can feel quite broken when you first get her, of like, oh my god, she's got so much better reach, she can jump higher, she can slide. Why would I ever switch back to Zangatsu? And the reason why is quite simple. It's that characters don't share health bars. In fact, his, by default, is actually slightly longer than hers. And he also attacks slightly faster. So if you are using her a lot, and then you decide you find yourself low on health, you can switch to him and conserve it, because then you're back to a full health bar. Now, her sub-weapons are entirely different from his. Right, now that guy's shield blocks projectiles. Not from the back. Oh, unless he turns around. But she also gets vertical knives, 3 of them. That's quite useful. Now, this is an instance of a fork in the path. So if she had gotten downed, then I would not get her back until I complete the stage, or unless I lose all my characters and lose a life. But because I have got her, I can jump up here, and I can use this door. And this path is better than going down there. In fact, what's down there is what actually stopped me from doing Veteran. Because it's just ridiculously hard platforming sequence in which Medusa heads, which are just like these floating heads that go through the air and attack you, and are really hard to hit. They just kept knocking me off the platforms over and over and over again. I lost all my lives, all my characters. It sucked. Now back to knives. Maybe should have kept the other one. Oh well. Nope, they got it back then. So all's well that ends well. Actually, one second, I'm going to check that. Nope, nothing there. Now in this case, I kind of need her whip's distance. Unless that thing is just... Nope. It is when it sticks its head out. But it's only vulnerable when it has its head out anyway. Ugh, those fucking ghosts. Those are also a problem. Fuck. Well, there's the first death. So now I'm down to just Miriam. For platforming, I should have used her anyway, because she has a higher jump. So, this is an example of the branching paths. If I had gone down, this is where I would have ended up. I would have come out through this doorway. So no matter what, the paths always lead up, connect up. In fact, I can demonstrate that actually. So Curse of the Moon as a mechanic is just your ability to go back to previous chapters. However, you are giving up all your progress. And those squares indicate the things you can find in each level. So the top one is characters, and the bottom one is upgrades. But you can also see by looking at the map, that's the branching paths. But no matter what route you take, it always coalesces back into a single path. Or it always ends in the same place. Yeah, so I'm not actually going to do that, backing out. Oh god, this is another one. So yeah, that would have killed me. Because I mistimed my whip. I would have died on veteran. So this scythe is interesting because it might have gotten patched, but Ducky was pointing out that... What am I trying to say? I want to get rid of these guys first. Dougie pointed out that the wizard, the next character, his freeze spell can freeze the scythe. If you freeze the scythe and then use the final character, Gebel, to turn into a bat and fly inside of the frozen scythe, then when you turn back into human, it knocks you out of the level and allow you to fall through the floor, and doing that in the right place can allow you to skip entire areas. Ah, now I've got the axe. She actually has quite a lot of sub-weapons, actually. So it's just a really powerful short-range hit. Mostly only useful for stuff like that golem. So the thing I just picked up by sliding under there after breaking the wall was an upgrade to my weapon points. So now I can hold 50 instead of 40. And so far as I can tell, nearly all... I think there's like one health upgrade and the final two armor and damage upgrades you can get with Zangetsu. All the others require the abilities of the other characters. Okay, boss time. I'm not 100% sure I can beat this guy with just one character. I mean, obviously I can, because I had to do that to unlock Ultimate Mode, but I'm not sure about doing it with Miriam. Fuck, just short. Okay. Okay, so that's all my weapon points gone. But I did a lot of damage, so... Fuck. Done. Wow, that actually went really well with her. Now he's going to do his suicide attack. Fuck. I can't do it. The timing's way too strict on that. You have to jump before he appears on screen. But it can't kill you, so it doesn't really matter. I only really try to dodge them just for cool points. And now we get the wizard. The wizard is the key to cheesing this game. He can do some fucking shit with his sub-weapons. It's also worth pointing out, all of the people you team up with are people who Zangatsu personally has a reason to hate. Every single one of them. Miriam and Gebel are both shard bearers. I forget what the term is. Shard binders. They have glass-like shards embedded into their body that allows them to use the powers of demons. And alchemists are the same. They're the ones who do stuff like that. And he hates all demons. Absolutely all of them. So he's kind of putting his beliefs aside for a second to team up with these people. And that's how you're justified in doing the other scenario, which is to just kill them. You can just totally kill these characters without talking to them. And doing so will give you a new power with Zangatsu each time. So he can actually become a really powerful, unique character if he kills all three others. And you have to do that and beat the game with just him in order to unlock Ultimate Mode. And in Ultimate Mode, he has all his powers and he can recruit them. Yeah, so the wizard, the alchemist, very straightforward. I keep calling him wizard. He's an alchemist, but it's basically the same thing. Has a very weak, shitty attack, not much health, but he can do stuff like this. But the button's not working for some reason. I guess because of this area. But basically, his base sub power is that he can create a fucking wall of fire around him, like a big circle of fire around him. And enemies that get killed in one hit just can't touch him. So here, I'll show it. He's basically invincible. And that's important because there's areas where there's archers that never stop shooting. And the only way to get to even close the distance on them is to actually have that invincibility. Which I just lost because I just got his worst sub-weapon. Which is that he now has 2 shit attacks. And it's impossible to aim it properly like this. It sucks. Oh, we're getting to an example of that right now, actually. Look at this guy. He's never going to stop. God knows where he's getting all his arrows from. So yeah, because I have that, and see the skeletons pointing down, I can get here. But I was only possible because I had the alchemist. So now I've got the ice spell, and that's the thing I can combine with her sickle. And I'm going to try and do that at least once. No, that's the axe, not what I want, but I'll get the sickle eventually. Oh, never found that. I didn't realise that platform was breakable. Well, now I know. Guess I need any health later. On another run, I mean. Another reason to use Zangatsu is if you're just going through the level and you're worried you might get killed, it's better if he dies than the others. Because he has no base ability. His base abilities aren't that useful, they're just for combat. Whereas they have all the get through location abilities. Also, that mimic is literally a spider in a box. I don't know if I've ever found this area before. Huh. Interesting. Also, it never occurred to me to use the ice cubes as a way as platforms. That's interesting. Huh. That actually creates a few possibilities. Nope, just knives. I'll get the sickle eventually. Now maybe my memory's just a bit faulty. I don't remember this area at all. Which makes me think I must have taken a different path, but I'm not sure what other path I could have taken. No, knife. I want that sickle, come on. It's holding out on me. Oh, shit. Got a big gung-ho there. Oh, they're immune to the spikes. That's fucked, isn't it? That's bullshit. The sand also causes you to sink, so you gotta be careful not to just stand there like an idiot. Oh, this... Oh, good thing I ducked there. I didn't... So, this power basically just makes your normal attack stronger. You'll just do more damage. Which doesn't really matter with rats, because they die in one hit anyway, but can be useful against the boss. If you're hitting them with your main weapon, mostly. So evidently there must have been an alternative path, because that's where I would have came out of if I had taken it. Ah, health upgrade. Which I can... It's only possible to get this with Miriam. Because she can slide under, or she can high jump up here. Actually, no, she can't. It has to be the slide. Now, stairs are dangerous in this series, in the Castlevania series, because you cannot jump off them. You are locked onto you're locked onto them like a reel, and you can't jump. You can at least attack though, which I think is something you couldn't do in old Castlevania and was a huge problem. Oh shit, I have the wrong weapon. Okay, hers might be able to salvage this, but having the ring of fire for this boss with the alchemist is much better. Okay, no, this attack works just fine. So the ring of fire basically lets you just stand there. Okay, this part's fairly easy. He's just gonna follow me around with his fist, and as long as I'm not under it when he strikes, I'm fine. But then the fucking mobs come in. Fuck. Cut it close there. And he's dead. And this is a suicide attack. So I could just stand here, but I'm going to make an effort to at least dodge them. It's kind of fucked though, because the last 2 seconds the screen goes white, but the coins are still falling. So I guess you just better have memorized what was there. And now we're getting the last character. This is Gebel, or he's Alucard. He's just Alucard from Castlevania. You might find this an interesting new. Not Gebel. I think it's Zangatsu actually, the main character we're playing as. In Ritual of the Night, the bigger game, he's actually going to be voiced by David Here, who plays Snake. Immortal Metamorphosis, blah blah blah. So Gebel's thing is that he can turn into a bat and fly around and do basic attacks, and he can also do that. That's it. His basic attack is like this. I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of like it is a bizarre combination of Dracula's ability to shoot fireballs out of his cape, where he'd pull his cape back and 3 fireballs would shoot directly forward, and his like shooting bats out thing. And it's fairly useful because it's got an upward arc to it, so you can hit things just above you with it and in front. The only thing it struggles with is like small enemies like rats that are on the ground. For them, it's pretty useless. They're the Medusa heads. I don't know what they're called in this, but that's basically what they are. Nope, shit. Got distracted. Now here's an instance. This I find very interesting. I find this particular path very interesting. And it's a good example of how different your options are on the different modes. So, if I have Gebel, I can just fly across, right? It's no problem. If I have Miriam, I can slide through here, but she just falls straight downwards after the slide if she goes off an edge. So she will just die. But if I was playing ultimate mode and I slid under there as her, switched to Zangatsu, and then used his double jump ability to get a second jump in the air, I could then save myself from the fall. But as is, just gonna fly under as a bat. on, you bastard. Come on. Should just used... Ah, fuck. Took way too many hits there that I shouldn't have. Ooh. Got a bit worried there. You know what? I'm just gonna skip all you motherfuckers. So note to self, her slide is not an attack. I never bothered to test that before, now I know. Fuck. Alright, now this guy, there's a couple ways to get over him if you have all the abilities, but as is the most, like I am now, it's pretty much just a bat. And you can't hurt him. He is utterly invincible to everything. Unless, except for the ice. So that's a method. Is the alchemist can freeze him, and Miriam can jump up there. So, there's ways, if you think about it. If you experiment, you can find ways to get down these paths if you don't have the most obvious method. Because as I said, if a character dies, you lose them until you lose all the characters, or you get to a new level. These frogs are just super annoying. Gabble again. There we go. Another weapon upgrade. Now, I forget how many there are of each. I remember getting at least 3 life upgrades, 2 weapon upgrades, what I assume is a damage, and a armor upgrade. That's the thing, they don't actually tell you what they do. You just figure it out based on what seems to have changed. And with life and weapon power, that's obvious. The numbers go up. But with the damage and armor one, I'm just like, I guess that's what happened. It's hard to tell. I would need to test it under laboratory conditions. So how am I going to get up here? Let's get up here. Ah, fuck it, just go forward. I already missed Sangatsu's like moves because he can get a dash and a double jump, and that fuck, was not paying attention to my health. Well, shit. So Gebel's gone for now. Alright, so that's how that's going to get taken care of. I feel kind of like an idiot there. I really fucked that up. Oh, I got the scythe. Good, good. On the next area, I'll test that out. Oh wait, no, the boss might be at the top of here. Okay, let's try this out. Oh, I don't have Gebel. Fuck, I don't have Gebel. Shit. Well, I'll just hang on to these sub-weapons. And I will do it next time. Nope, don't want that. Okay, here's the boss. Okay. Now, getting through the first phase of this boss is what really matters, because the second phase is quite easy. You just have, well, I wouldn't call it easy, but it's just down to pattern recognition and timing. Like it's not random in the slightest, so you can just get through it by just doing it perfectly. Kind of like a rhythm game. Speaking of which, here we go. So this second phase, very easy. I wonder what the fuck. So crouch. Yeah, I didn't react fast enough and he hit me there. So I gotta jump up on the platform as quickly as possible. Fuck. Okay, I need Miriam for that. Two, three, four. Don't take my chances. 1, 2, 3, 4. Three, 4. And as long as I just keep doing this, he will die. Dead. Interestingly enough, this guy doesn't have a suicide attack. He just dies. Unless that counts as a suicide attack? I don't know. I mean, I think you can die from that. Pretty sure. Alright, oh, let's test out that thing then. Okay, so. Gebel. No, no. Yes! So he's dead. He fell through the floor. But if you do that in the right place, you can skip areas. I don't know what those areas are. I'll have to talk with Ducky about it. So just for the sake of getting Gebel back, I'm going to kill all my characters, just real quick. That's a slight flaw I find with this game is like I understand the idea of continue with the characters you've got to the end of the level. But because there's like permanent upgrades you can get and you need certain characters' abilities to reach them, if you lose that character, it can kind of feel like, well, I've got to kill myself just to go back to the checkpoint. An extra life, one of my lives is worth that. Well, if lives were actually a thing, which they're not on casual, which is just another thing of like, oh, I wish I just had the character back. It'd be a little better if there was a way to revive them, you know, like sacrifice all of your weapon score in order to get a character back or something like that. You know, as I thought, I have never gone up there. I want to know what's up there. And it's something I can't really reach. Well, there's hearts up here, that's nice. But I can use Gebel to fly up. Yeah, so I've seen the other side of this doorway by virtue of the fact that I can climb up those stairs. Fuck. I thought it was gonna... Ah, well. I thought I'd have to jump it, but I should have crouched it. Yeah, it's just... We're back to the same place. I appreciate that I can at least destroy their projectiles. Oh god, if you couldn't, that would make all the difference. It'd be so much worse. What's in here? Ah, I hate this room. I fucking hate this room. So down there's a heart, and that's it. It's just a healing, which I guess I could do with, but you're taking a ridiculous risk going down there just for the sake of a heart. I mean, it's not a ridiculous risk, I just handled it no problem, but it doesn't feel worth it at all, especially since you might have gone in there with full health and you can only get it for Gebel. You can only get the heart for Gebel, because it goes to whoever you're currently playing as. I would have to switch characters mid-air, drop into the heart, and then quickly switch back to Gebel, then back into a get back. It's stupid. And a single misstep could cause you to just drop. Fuck. Oh shit. Fuck. Got the bad power. I got the bad weapon. Fuck. I would rather have anything except the burning paper. I bet there's some fucking insane speedrun tech you can do with it, but I don't know. Oh god, this guy. Okay. This painting is the most difficult and annoying enemy in the game. He's harder than... He's like a mini-boss. Because... Well, he, she, whatever. Point is that if that thing touches you, when it's doing its attack, you die instantly because your character gets absorbed into the painting. Thankfully, the alchemist can prevent that with the fire, and they're also just really annoying to hit. So come on. Yeah. So they're annoying and awkward unless you have the alchemist. The alchemist can trivialize it. Nearly all of his sub-weapons let him trivialize it, except for the 2-hit one. That one's useless. But like the ice and everything will just completely make that fight a cakewalk. I've never used the attack in Gebel's Fall much. It's actually quite good. Alright, Gebel, earn your keep. There we go. 2 life upgrades, 2 weapon upgrades. Oh, a nasty thing about this level. I'm not pressing anything. You slide to the right constantly. Because of the rain, I guess. I mean, I know rain makes things slippery, but I've never known it to just... Like, most games of this era, when they wanted a surface to be slippery... Whoops. When they wanted an area to be slippery, they would just, like, make you slide it. They would give you ice physics. But in this game's case, it's like, no, you're constantly being pushed in a direction like a conveyor belt. That's what it reminds me of, Mega Man conveyor belts. So I lost Zangatsu, but you know what? That's fine. That's the one character you're okay with losing most of the time. Fuck. In an ideal scenario, you don't lose anyone, but if you're going to lose anybody, may as well be the character who's not that useful in this form. Fuck. Fuck. Okay, I need... Oh, I saved it. Okay. This sliding thing is getting real annoying, but let's just power through it. Because you're being pushed to one side, jumps in this direction are incredibly tight. Like, yeah, even in air, the push effect is still there. It's reducing how far you can jump in to the left. To the point that it makes stuff like that stupidly dangerous. Like, that was a huge mistake. What did I do that for? Okay, now that Green Lantern is for the best spell in the game. It is for the wizard, the alchemist, whatever. Lightning. This spell will carry you through the game. It's by far the most powerful one. And it's especially useful against bosses. Okay. Okay, here we go. Just mash that X button No! Fuck. Shit. Well, you know what? Fine enough. I want all my characters back anyway. I have been hurting my thumb this entire time by using the fucking D-pad. And I don't know why, because I'm pretty sure I was playing this mostly with the analog stick before. Before the stream, I mean. It's a bad power. Okay. As long as I have lightning, I should be fine. Okay. So just mash lightning out. There is a way to beat this boss without cheesing it. I have done it with Zangetsu, and it's really tough because of the rain. And the wind especially. The wind ability kills you more than anything. So for that reason I tend to stick to the left, so that I have more time to crouch and resist the wind. Done. Oh boy. Oh my god. Oh my neck. Alright, so there are 8 stages to this game. I remember when it first came out, a lot of people were saying, like, oh, there's only 5 stages? And now that I think about it, I'm not sure why anyone said that. Because there's no version of this game that's only 5 stages. There's no, like, early bad ending or anything like that. You will always play 8. I think, actually, maybe the second mode is slightly shorter than that. Maybe it's only 7, I'm not 100%. But regardless, it's never just 5. So I thought about it, and the only thing I can figure is that people saw that is because people saw the initial map screen, which only shows 5 areas, and that's what they based it on. But the game continues past that to a second map. It does the Castlevania. That's fine. It does the Castlevania thing of you start on in the country road, like you're heading to Dracula's castle, and then the last third of the game is in the castle. Now this is what I was talking about. So I'm going to use her, slide under. I don't know what that did. I have absolutely no idea. It is just shown as a fist. Is that meant to be like a gauntlet of armor? Is it saying that my attack is up? I don't know. The game doesn't tell you. My best guess is, because the other thing is blatantly a chess piece, is that they're either both armor, or one of them's armor and one of them's an attack up. We're actually closing in on the end of the game for this mode. This mode takes me by far the longest to beat. It takes close to 2 hours, although I don't think it's going to take me that long this time. The other modes take an hour, because you just have more options from the start. And in Ultimate mode, Zangetsu is really fast. Like, I remember hating his dash ability when I first unlocked it, because you have to keep mashing it rather than just holding the button. But it does actually speed things up considerably. That and his double jump. I always check this thing every single time I hit it because I think, oh yeah, that's a breakable container, right? No, it isn't. Every single time. Every playthrough I've done, that exact one, I go, oh yeah, that's breakable, isn't it? No, it's not. So yeah, in terms of upgrades, I think I'm going to find one more health thing and one more... Actually, maybe I don't. Maybe the third health thing is the one that's in... I think it's in the second mode where you have all characters, because it's a place that Zangatsu can't get to in the first level, but Miriam can, if I remember right. You know what? Never been up there, so I'm going to do that. Hey, look, Scissor Man. Yeah. Gebel can turn into a bat just like Alucard in Castlevania. Now, considering that Dracula and vampires are not a thing in this universe, the fact that he can turn into a bat is kind of weird. Like, I guess their logic is just that he can do demon things because he absorbs their powers. And one of them is that he can turn into a bat. Because demon... I don't know. He's very blatantly just Alucard, and that's just what they wanted. Oh, fuck. I shouldn't have stopped. So all the ones that are shaking at the top, something's going to happen. They're either going to drop or they're going to release a rat. Shit. Fuck, what was my plan there? I should have just turned bat and saved myself. But I switched characters instead for some reason. And to the Alchemist of all people. The guy who has the worst platforming. So losing the Alchemist is actually a big deal, because I kind of need him and his lightning. But you know what? I'll manage without. Yes, those are bunny girls. Don't ask how it makes sense. I actually have no idea when this game takes place. Like, no idea whatsoever. Because Zangatsu, when you look at his proper art, I would look that up if you're interested. He looks like he has a cyborg arm. He kind of looks... I don't even know what to compare him to, even though I know characters like that. Like, the arm he uses to actually slash is metallic. Fuck, I keep switching back and forth between sub-weapons and getting that fucking burning paper over and over again. No, no, no. Okay, that was a mistake. That was a huge mistake. Wait. Gebel can get past him. He can turn into a bat and fly above the arrows. Yes! So it's not just the Alchemist who can get through there. The Alchemist, I would have had to use the fire. Or shoot him with the lightning from a distance. Oh, fuck. Yeah, you can't outrun him. Gotta jump over. Nothing? No. Oh, fuck. So here you have to pay attention to the direction of his arm when he's reeling back, because that tells you whether he's going to throw underarm or overarm. Fuck. Okay. Fucking Medusas. Well, at least I got some health out of it. Fuck. Should take my own advice and pay attention. There we go. No, fuck you. Oh, fucking paper. Oh, speaking of don't die, the boss is here. And I don't have the alchemist, and I need the alchemist. Unless I could use Gebel's bat form. That might work. No, come on. It's working so far. Yes! Did it. Yeah, that one I really struggled to dodge that one. But can't kill you. It can't kill you.